We use it. We also use the circle burst drill. So if I'm snapping down, I'm going to snap down with my right leg. I'm going to come around and get into the next one. And I would say to use 2 yards in between. Been around coaches that use 1. I've been around coaches that use 2, more like this. If you do 1, you're kind of not really showing them how to drive down into it. I agree that if you have 2 yards, you can show them how to drive down into that route. So if I start here, right, get there, boom, come back around. I drive down into it again, boom, drive down into it again, and then I get out, right? So it's all about, I say you start teaching them at 50, 75, right? Let them get the technique down, let them get the footwork down, then speed it up. And they'll come off the ball and they'll take it. That literally will be the release. It's not it. So as a DB, if I'm here and you play in slow motion, I can play in slow motion. If coach releases off the ball, I can play in slow motion. Once again, we always dictate how we want that DB to move. So if coach is a DB and I'm playing here, everything has to be hard, fast, and it's got to be quick, compact. We got to move like that. Up to my right to get him to take just that 6-inch step, get him to move so we can get back inside of him. Right? So if I'm here, and I'm coming out. So, and then it's no different than if it was a double. Do the same thing. That hard step's got to be here, here, and then I'm coming back out. Right?
What type of hand action, like, so if you're sticking here, and then you're obviously going to do the dip, any type of hand action, like you swipe this inside?
Yeah, so hand-to-hand combat, one of the best things, I actually got this from my first receiver coach, is what he calls a double swipe. You get a lot of, and there's different things you can teach. You can teach, coach shoots his arm, a club, right here, he's clubbing, chopping, right? You can teach a club and a rip, but you're always relying on the fact that you're going to hit that club, right? So you're always relying on the fact that this little part of my hand is somewhere going to hit his arm. And so he was like, I don't really like the fact of having all this, why not use both of my arms? So everything he teaches is here and a double swipe to get both down. So now I'm using all of this as opposed to just this. And we implemented that probably 2 years ago at NC State and seen a big difference. And a really big difference. So obviously you got a club chop, you got a club grip, you got a double swipe. And I would say a lot of our guys now are starting to use that double swipe just to make sure that we're hitting exactly what we got to see. And then the same thing is like, they know that they're using a double swipe, but they have to see, right? It's no different than catching the football. I got to see his hands when he shoots. It's no different than I'm an inside guy. If he's playing safety or playing nickel and I come up on him, right, I'm burning my eyes on his hands because I know as soon as he shoots them, boom, I get him off, I'm good to go on my route. If I'm looking at him, if I'm looking at his legs, whatever, he shoots his hand, boom, he hits me right in my chest. Right, you know what you're waiting for, so get your eyes on it. As soon as it comes, you get it down, you're good to go.
That's the problem we have with like over the top move. Over the top move, kind of like the chest.
Yeah, and so as soon as people start asking me, I tell them dip and drive. Any second level release, I'm saying dip and drive, dip and drive, dip and drive. Right, because I'm trying to not give him any part of my chest. I want him to never, ever, ever hit me in my chest. And the thing that we realize that is most when we get here, boom, and I give him my back, even if coach puts his hands on me, and I'm playing low and inside, I'm good to go. Right now, he's in a trail technique. He's trailing me in my route.
Hands, stick arms out, and make him do both hands. Either way, just get used to it. You don't have to tell him exactly what to do because when the game comes, it's going to be whatever's most natural.
Right.
So then you can tell him but they got to use both hands because that's what he's talking about. Using one hand, you could miss. So work on under here. That's dip and ripping. You can work on over the top, swim move. You can do all that and work on the 2 hands at the same time. It's another thing you can do is see repetition so that those receivers can actually see that and know what their reaction is.
So when we had Coach George McDonald at Illinois now, we did releases every day. And so we split the first period individual, half got on the jugs, half got on releases. We did it every day. Now it's a little bit different. We don't do it every day, but
y'all keep it simple as far as like a 1 or a 1-2 get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not. Now, Coach McDonald was way different. He was more of everything was a come to balance foot fire. And I feel like the moment that's all you teach, I mean, obviously DB coaches get paid, DBs watch film, like they're going to, pick up on it. Okay, he's always going to come to balance. He's going to pick a side, and as soon as he does that, we'll get our hands on it. right?
Counterbalance foot fire is just like a level step.
Yeah, so if I'm in my, just like that, if I'm in my stance right here, I'm just trying to get the even, right? So now I'm here, I can go either way, right? Whereas if I'm taking that one, I probably know I'm going inside. If I'm taking two, I'm going outside, right? And so everything was just always come to balance. So it was here, boom, he eat up the grass, and now he's, so that was his come to balance foot fire, and that's really all of it. But in order to give them a few different things, now they use speed releases, come to balance foot fire, a 1, a 2, that's it. And then we talked about the barrier, their spray, but that's more so based off a certain type of rounds. So, however you guys get off on the ball, he moves the ball, he claps his hands, whatever that is. We drive off the ball, okay? We'd get to 5 yards, he'd blow a whistle, okay? And they start chopping their feet like this. He'd blow another whistle, they take off. When they get into about 2 yards from him, all right, they're gonna just compress, shoot, and then they're gonna drive that man out. He's getting a scribble push up, and then we'll come out and take MDM, whoever that is. His guy's pressed. All he's doing is looking at me saying, help, help. And I should be able to look out and realize he's pressed. But if he looks at me and says, hey, help, help, now I know right now I'm going straight down the line. So as soon as the ball snaps, I'm coming straight down the line right here to kick this guy out. Right? So he just got to understand whether the guy's pressed, whether the guy's off.
Our problem is, like you said,
up the field, and then now he's kind of slow playing it,
right?
But that's where we struggle with not knowing. Okay,
but he always knows he's blocking the corner.
Yeah.
And so the big thing is I'm not really pushing off and like looking inside. As I come off the ball, I know I'm blocking him. My eyes are on him, right? A lot of the times, like you could have a wheel backer. Say we're in the boundary, you got a wheel backer in here. And me pushing up just helps the tackles block, or the guards block, and that's all that's for. Right? Basically, square this guy up. Yeah.
So then basically you just figure out
Right, and so if he wants to go out,
this guy's
cool, I'll take him out here. If he wants to go inside, cool, I'll drive him in here. But he always knows that he's trying to circle the defense. Unless, I mean, that guy comes flying downhill and I have no shot to square him up, now I got to keep him. Yeah, and so the thing that I tell you is we're always looking at that guy. Because it does us no good if I'm pushing up looking at him and he triggers, then I can't do shit, right? But as soon as he transitions, comes down, I got to go get him.